Welcome to Boyz Night with me, Lung, and Nick. How you guys doing?
I'm doing pretty good. Thank you for asking.
Yeah, it's been snowing here on Long Island. Well, not too much, but it's getting colder.
Didn't think that would happen until later in the month, but yeah, it's bound to happen sometime.
I do not do well in the cold, at all.
Really? I love the winter.
How? It's so bad. I can only thrive in warm environments.
Well, Lung, you have no meat on your bones, so cold just must go through you.
Thank you for stating the obvious. I know, but I can't do it.
Fucking lank beast over here.
Yeah. So on our podcast, we like to talk about the early 2000s, and we all have varying levels of expertise on films. And Lung is by far the worst. He's seen.
Jeez, thank you.
He's seen. He's the worst for a lot of reasons, but we're
the
talking
worst
about
kind
movies.
of human being imaginable.
Talking about movies here.
Fuck you, Lung.
He hasn't seen anything, right, Lung?
Yeah, I've seen nothing. What even are movies?
Yeah,
I don't know what those are.
he
Electricity? I don't have that.
Yeah, he grew up watching paint dry. So
that was my Saturday afternoon.
It's a little difficult for him to relate to us.
What color were you watching dry?
Mostly some lighter shades of lavender.
So it's really fun to watch him, or listen to him rather. Watch for me, but listen to him for everybody else. Explain movies that we've just watched because he has no context.
Yes.
Yeah. So why don't you explain the movie we watched tonight?
If
Long,
I don't
think you can.
Well, it's
briefly summarize.
I don't know what you mean by no context. The only context you need is to have actually watched the movie. I assume you mean the stuff that went on behind the scenes that I wouldn't know.
No, I mean you just have no real I'm drawing from a wealth of movie film knowledge, and so is Nick, But you have nothing. It's like a dry, empty box.
To be fair, I've only seen horror movies and some. I watch horror movies and Disney movies. That's my whole catalog right there. So
it's more than I got. But
right.
Honestly, I don't know. You guys have this big brain knowledge of movies. But I can explain the plot, I suppose. It's not too hard, especially for this one, Big Mama's House, or whatever the hell it's called. So
or what yeah.
Yeah, So, you have Martin Lawrence. I remembered his name, and I said it correctly this time.
Thank God.
He's in the FBI. He brings down bad guys, and his partner, Paul Giamatti. And their case is to find this guy who robbed a bank and killed 2 people and stole $2 million.
Dude, you remembered the number? That's impressive.
He actually paid attention to this movie.
Yeah.
Keep going. I'm not breaking your train of thought.
Yeah, go ahead.
You broke my train of thought. Okay.
Fuck.
So anyway, back onto that train. So they gotta find out where this guy is and where his wife went, because she went missing too. So, in order to do that, he gets assigned to, watch this girl's grandmother, I think. I'm pretty sure it's her grandmother.
Grandmother, great-grandmother, some old lady.
And, they watch her for a little bit. And, for no reason at all, Big Mom was like, oh, I gotta go and, leave for about a week for this plot to commence.
He almost lifted off into an impression there.
Yeah,
those will come later. Trust me, sweet child.
They really will.
Oh, shit. Child, you best believe the impressions are going to come later.
God damn
these impressions will be, the whole podcast. I'm going to tell you that much right now.
Finish up your summary.
Keep going.
So, she leaves, and, what are we going to do? And, Martin Lawrence got the idea of, oh, perfect. I'll just disguise myself as Big Mama. So she comes to the house, and, we can question her on... I can get the information, I can try and prove her innocence, and I can find out where this money is. And, the whole movie, revolves around that, and, a lot of funny shenanigans happens in the meantime, until, they get the guy in the end. Spoiler alert, I'm sorry, everyone.
A lot of ass happens. That's the plot, the whole of this movie.
Yeah. So, that's that. I mean,
yeah, I'm sorry it was such a short description, but that's literally the whole movie.
It really is just the thinnest plot. It's just more so to see Martin Lawrence in a fucking fat suit.
You know what kind of like confuses me when I see movies like these?
Yeah.
They're not independent.
How they were made?
Well, this is like such an early 2000s movie. It's not even funny.
Wasn't it like 2003 or something?
No, it was 2000 on the dot.
Holy shit.
And like turn of the century. You know what really confuses me about
2K.
these movies though is why is it who's commissioning these movies? You know what I mean?
Oh, like who's greenlighting them? Fuck knows.
Yeah, but I mean like who's coming up with this idea, bringing it to like a guy, a producer, and they're like perfect, Martin Lawrence in a fat suit, and he's a detective, like perfect, he's
He's part of the FBI.
he disguises himself as this woman's grandmother, and then they get together at the end. Like that's
Well, they always gotta get together at the end.
I know. I'm just trying to figure out where these movies come from. It's the same thing with like
If enough money is involved, you can bring anything to life. It doesn't really matter. You can get Martin Lawrence in anything with enough money.
I like Mrs. Doubtfire, which is this movie clearly drew
Some
heavily
sort of,
from Mrs. Doubtfire.
Yeah, but like Mrs. Doubtfire is like an actual good movie.
Yeah, well, the person who made the prosthetics for this film also did it for Mrs. Doubtfire.
I can't.
It's this same prosthetic guy, makeup artist, whatever they call him. And, it's
Special effects.
Yeah. So I'm just, there's a number of movies like this that I'm just so confused by where they come from.
Yeah.
They come from the void that is like the Hollywood movie making machine.
Yeah.
And like obviously people are watching it enough to where more are being made. There are three of these fucking movies.
Yeah.
Like obviously it was so successful the first time, the second time, and even enough to like where they want to make it a third time. I'm waiting for the fourth.
Which is really weird. Like they made one. It's funny to think that this is a 2000 movie. The sequel came out
2006.
Yeah, sequel came out in 2006, and then at the beginning of the 2010s, fucking 2011, there's a third one where he brings his son into dressing up as a fat drag queen.
I haven't seen that one. There's no reason for me to watch that.
Yeah,
maybe I will one day, but there's no reason for me to watch that.
Well, you know what? If we all watch it, let's just get fucking hammered and just watch the third one, I guess.
Where do these things come from, man?
Somebody was farting out an idea, and that just happened to be one that, like, just, the scent just stayed and lingered in the air.
It's not based on a comic book. It's not...
I mean, it technically is a movie franchise.
It's not a really good idea.
It's not even an original idea either.
It's not like Drive or anything. I don't understand... I'm not saying Drive is like... it was just a movie that popped into my head. But that's like, they're independent films, which are films people come up with on their own, and they finance it typically on their own or with limited help, and they, it's a small distributor, and they, it's low budget, everything like that, and there's no real oversight, like, from producers and big studios. And then there's the studio pictures, which are like these Marvel movies that are, that are coming out, or these franchises like Transformers or something like that. This is the early 2000s with a franchise domination age. I mean, 2010s ramped it up even more. This is where it started, man. Mm-hmm. And I don't understand where this movie falls. Where does something like this come from?
You know what's funny to think? I think, I don't know, it just like spawns from this, like, this whole decade of movies was just like, I mean, Tropic Thunder made fun of it. Like, all these, like, just weird fucking movies that, like... I mean, like, obviously the beginning of Tropic Thunder
was making fun of war movies, dude.
No. I'm saying, but the beginning of Tropic Thunder was making fun of, like, those, like, weird, insane comedies that you always see trailers for. This was one of them. But instead of it being a parody, it's an actual thing with 2 sequels somehow.
Yeah, enough people watching it.
I guess if this didn't exist, there wouldn't be something to parody. But it's just, I don't understand who comes up. Where does this come from? You know who directed this?
Who?
The guy who made the 2 live-action Scooby-Doo's Beverly Hills Chihuahua.
Okay, well...
Beverly Hills Chihuahua wasn't good either. What the hell?
And the Smurfs movie.
What the
and Home Alone 3.
Oh my god!
And Yours,
the
Mine, and Ours.
Specifically.
He's just fucking spitting out. I mean, Yours,
Raja
Mine, and Ours was
now.
okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
But those are like primarily like, who the fuck decided to make the Smurfs movie?
Who's the writer for this thing? Let me see. Hold on. The writer.
Oh Jesus! What else did he do besides?
There's
Big
2
Mama's
writers.
House?
There's 2 writers for this movie.
Yeah.
the one writer didn't really do much. The other guy did.
What did please tell me like
Deck the Halls with Danny DeVito.
Oh shit.
Surf's Up.
Surf's Up I liked.
Rio 2, Agent Cody Banks 2, and the first Rio.
I mean the Rio movies are okay, but
I've never seen them.
Yeah, I've never seen him either. But apparently I've never seen anything, and I must live under a rock.
Right. You really like fucking
this
do.
movie also has like a pretty good cast, you know?
Yeah.
Martin Lawrence isn't he's not a terrible actor. He's not an unentertaining actor.
He's just in shit like this, and then he makes like
Paul Giamatti. You know what he did the year before this?
Please tell me.
Man in the Moon.
Oh yeah, that's right. That came out in '99. It was a great movie.
Yeah.
A lot of people give it shit though.
Man on the Moon. I said Man in the Moon. Excuse me.
Yeah.
But the point is he's like this very celebrated actor, and here he is bugging out in Big Mama's house.
Yeah, bugging out, making the one neighbor in the movie scene.
Anthony Anderson and Terrence Howard.
Terrence Howard, if anyone's listening, like he's from Empire.
Yeah.
If
Cedric
anyone
the
watches
Entertainer, and what was the woman's name?
No,
Nia
it's a star-studded cast. Like it's just
not a good movie.
It's just shitty. It's just really like fucking shit. Can we just talk about the scenes now?
Let's just talk about our likes and dislikes
because it's gonna make up the majority of this.
You want to go first?
I don't have besides like.
Let's start with the dislikes.
Here's the thing.
Any likes?
I barely have fucking one like. The one thing I guess was just there were some jokes like very far and few between. There were some fucking gags and or jokes that I like chuckled at or was like, haha, that was kind of funny. And then the whole movie I just sat there.
I was there. And he did say that out loud dryly like that.
Yeah.
It's very creepy.
No, but I mean, I think you guys, I can agree, like you guys can agree that we were just sitting there like just dumbfounded.
Well, yeah, it's like a lot of it's like really cringy.
It's so. I mean,
there's some parts that are like really funny, just how ridiculous it is.
I'm like struggling to come up with words of like how like just much I did not like this movie at all.
All right, so just hit us with some dislikes then.
I mean, I'll just hit it with like the big one that really really frustrated me. Was like right up at the climax of the movie, and they were throwing like 50 different things at like as like an audience member when you're watching this movie and you get up to the part that I'm talking about, you're gonna see like 50 different things happening, and you get a headache watching it. Like I physically got a headache.
You thought the
climax
was too
busy?
No,
because then so the whole thing with the ending is you see Martin Lawrence, like he's playing Big Mama. He's like he has this whole party thing going. He finally realizes that the girl's innocent. That the ex-boyfriend or the villain of the movie hid the fucking bank money and something the kid owned because she has a kid. And then you see the actual Big Mama come home. Then there's like people having a fucking party. You see Paul Giamatti try not to lose his shit at what's his name? His character's name is Nolan. Fucking
Anthony Anderson.
Yeah, Anthony Anderson. You see him trying not to lose his shit at him. They're shoving Big Mama into a closet, and then they're not. And then fucking Martin Lawrence comes in out of another door. And my God, it was fucking disorienting, and it annoyed the shit.
The dad was upstairs.
Yeah, the fucking old guy that's been hitting on or had some love affair with fucking the actual Big Mama is fucking her neighbor, which it's funny because the neighbor is looking down on her for fucking the guy, and it still gave me a fucking. I almost had a migraine. Like just, I'm having a fucking migraine right now. Like listening,
like you explaining.
Guys,
that's what's happening.
I got a big dislike.
Yeah,
I really hated the villain in this movie.
He's barely in this movie. That's the other thing.
Through the whole movie, right? They pad this out. So he shows up at the beginning, and he's got like a clip at the end, or I mean, in the middle. And then they show him again. And then all of a sudden, he shows up in the house. Mm-hmm. I guess he walked in because they were having a party and nobody was paying attention. Yeah. He walks in, he goes in the room, he takes the kid. And the whole time, he's like really creepy. They have that one scene that was so uninspired where the guy puts the gun to his head.
Oh yeah, the alleyway. Like,
what was he doing?
No, he was like buying a fucking gun off the guy. Like it was like the most like cliche fucking like.
And the guy,
we're doing some like smuggling weapons, and you're buying it off of me.
And he puts the gun to his head, and he's doing this like.
He's like, yeah, pull it.
That stereotypical like you won't shoot me scene.
Yeah, and then he just pushes the gun away. Not like
and that guy doesn't die. There's no tension. He just walks away.
Yeah, he's just like and then
Hunter's good.
Yeah, no, that's fine. It's fine. Yeah, you can go.
Yeah.
Nothing.
And he's like unnecessarily creepy. Like he speaks in this low voice. And it's Terrence Howard, and he's giving like maybe 1%. The entire time. Well, and then he shows up in the bedroom. And he's got like, he's just sitting there and he's reading like a children's book to his kid.
Oh yeah, to the kid Trent. Yeah,
yeah, and he's really creepy about it. He's like reading it in this like creepy voice. And he's really hamming it up.
That was the only good scene with him, though.
And they like
to be fair, like that was the only good scene where like he was actually like, oh shit, like villain.
He was a villain, but it was still embarrassing.
Oh no, it's still embarrassing.
What the hell is it? Who is he? What is he?
Yeah, I don't remember what his name is.
I don't know anything about him. I don't care.
The most forgetful character in this entire movie, and there's a lot of fucking characters. Like especially when the party scene happens.
I'll agree with that. He is the most forgetful character. And then they kick him out a window, and who cares?
Yeah. No, yeah, they like
heavy as a rock, but light as a piece of paper. That's another like early 2000s trope that I love. People go flying, but like they break everything.
Yeah. No, I think that was like they were trying to really like bring back slapstick in the most ridiculous like. I mean, this isn't an action movie or anything like that, but like especially with comedy films, they were. I mean, around this time, yeah, like they were just like.
It's like this weird,
like
era-specific slapstick, you know?
Yeah, like where it's just like over the top, where you're laughing over how like. Over the top they went. Like, just how ridiculous it is.
Kind of reminds me of The Watchmen. You know how everyone had like weird super strength in that movie?
Yeah.
Even though they weren't supposed to. People go flying when you punch them and going through walls and punching
They were
things.
breaking people's arms like by paper. Breaking through the... Yeah. Like nothing.
I don't know. That's what it reminded me of. You got any dislikes on?
I do. I have just about as many as you guys, but you know, since like we've been shitting on it, I kind of want to give like the likes of just because of just how few I have.
So, okay, let's be positive for a hot minute there.
Let's think positively, guys. Like, come on, you can't be negative all the time.
You getting that word out there, pal?
Yeah, but yeah, you know me.
Totally not constipated over that word, right?
Not at all.
Oh, okay.
So,
want to make sure.
What did I like? I like the accent that Martin Lawrence put on the entire movie.
Now, are you going to do an imitation of the accent?
Woo, child, man, I love that. Some accents.
I really hope you were. I was kind of saying that facetiously, like hoping that you didn't do that, but now you did, so we're fucked.
Child, like you think I wouldn't do the accent?
Yeah, don't fucking child me.
Do the rest of the like.
So, aside from that, There was literally one joke in the whole movie that I liked, and it was the one where like Martin Lawrence has to like help like this girl like give birth to her child, like, and he's at like the other end of it.
Oh,
and
he's like, trying to close her legs.
Yeah, he's screaming in the beginning, and he's like, "Oh, I'm just gonna close these up. They don't close. Oh, that's probably why you got like this to begin with."
That actually,
I think
the other thing, all laughing. At
the other thing that made me laugh, and this. This wasn't the movie's fault. This was Lung's fault. Is when we watched it,
yeah,
and he's like looking at the woman he's supposed to be surveilling. He's looking at her ass, and then Lung goes and he keeps going like ooh ooh every time she turns around, and Lung just goes like, would he stop making that noise?
Yeah. I know.
Just stop making that. That's all he knew how to do,
dude. Yeah, his whole character is ooh.
There was that movie trope. I don't know how era specific this is. I feel like it's a problem that's always been in movies, where it's like really hard for characters to lie or stay undercover. Like he's supposed to be a master of disguise. Mm-hmm. But any master of disguise in real life, I don't think that's a real thing. But any master of disguise in real life...
Clearly you haven't seen Master of Disguise, the movie.
I have seen Master of Disguise, the movie. Have you?
No, I haven't.
Yeah, we're going to watch that at some point so you see how bad it is.
Is it early 2000s?
Yeah. Anyway.
Okay.
What was I talking about?
Are you... Are you kidding me?
Big Mama's House. Have you seen it?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's right. You know, any actual any actual master of disguise
Like
movie,
Alzheimer's or something. Jesus.
fiction or nonfiction, any master of disguise
Did
would
he eat
not
tapioca today?
constantly break character by going like ooh and like all sorts of weird sounds. Like when he first sees her, he's like, "Damn, you fine."
And then he's
Shut up and stay in character.
and then
What?
he makes like an ass joke that he tries to hide by like saying that oh, child, I'm saying asthma or something like that.
This is it's a thing that like a lot of, I don't know, it's a thing that like characters always do, especially in these early 2000s movies.
Not even in these like in these family comedy. I use family comedy very like light because they were.
No, this is a family comedy.
Yeah, I guess.
There had to have been families to go see this thing, like that were
Because
constantly
clearly
going
they
and
made
seeing
2
this thing.
sequels.
They made 2 sequels, and this thing made number 13 in the box office that year,
Jeez, I guess there was just like nothing.
right underneath
There were,
Charlie's
like, no-
Angels.
Right.
I
I'd
guess
rather.
it's like-
I'm gonna get Charlie's Angels so we could watch that next time.
Yeah,
guess like not much came out that year, huh?
that was the year How the Grinch Stole Christmas, the Carrie version, made it number 1. So,
Oh, well,
that
I mean,
made it to.
and the worst Mission Impossible is number 2.
Isn't
we
it
got
MI2 or yeah?
We got Gladiator though, so it's okay.
Are you not entertained?
Anyway, you got any other dislikes or likes?
Well, I mean, I was like on the likes, and that's about it for the likes.
So tell us your
jokes.
dislikes.
Yeah, well, a couple jokes here
This
and there.
movie
were good.
was funny, but it's
Yeah,
not.
it's. I don't think it's
it's
funny,
funny.
for like the reasons they intended.
It was
to be.
unintentionally funny at some.
It's funny
points.
because it's so cringy, kind of like us. It's just really cringy.
And occasionally, like the cringe gets to you, but like a lot of times, it's just cringe, and you just can't. It's hard for me to watch things that are like really cringy, so it's hard for me to watch like a lot of parts of this movie. So I honestly like there are whole chunks of this movie I just
Dude,
couldn't watch.
have you seen Mrs. Doubtfire?
Yes, I have. I have actually seen
That surprises me, like a
yeah,
lot. But that's nice. So you can come into this movie and kind of have that like understanding of where this thing came from, right?
I mean, he referenced it earlier when we were talking about it. I was hoping he watched Mrs. Doubtfire.
Out of the very few
You never
movies
know.
that I have seen that one.
Yeah.
Just so you know.
Not
future
only is that a
reference.
better movie, by the way, it's also a funnier movie.
It's like actually like you could watch it over and over, and it's
I
so.
could watch this over
Yeah.
and over again. I'm not going to be happy about it.
I'll just
but
have
I
to.
could do
We'll just
that.
have to
Yeah, I'll-
drink the next time we watch it.
Yeah, like it's
Like,
not like as
please.
so bad. Like, oh my god, I can never watch this again. Like, I could maybe sit through it again. I'd really rather not.
I mean, to be fair, there were points of this movie I think. we
Why
all
did
felt it.
Why did he show up in the middle of the movie as himself? Was it because he was afraid of getting caught running?
No,
across
yeah,
the
no,
street or
because
something?
because he woke up without like barely any of the face makeup on, and he had to like fucking run out of there because the girl was like coming into the room. She was like, "Oh, Big Mama," and then he like falls into a tree, gets caught because the tits and ass on the fat suit get caught, and then he falls out of the fat suit. Then he has to yank it down from the tree that he fell in, and then he shows up. It looks like he's trying to rob like the house. He uses the excuse that he's like, "Oh, Big Mama told me to fix the doorbell."
At 5:45 in the morning.
Yeah, which is exactly how she
Why
said
is
it
she
too.
up and dressed at 5:45 in the morning?
She wasn't
Yeah,
dressed.
like,
She
where
was in like her like.
Yeah, but she was like
Very
getting ready at
sexy
5:45,
nightgown.
Like, where's she going?
And her kid was up too.
Yeah, so like the timing, I don't believe it was
Also,
5:45 in
it
the
didn't
morning.
look like 5:45. Like the
Yeah,
sun was
it
perfectly
looked like
out.
fucking 7 o'clock or something like, or 8 o'clock.
Way
even,
later
yeah.
than that. It looked like the afternoon.
It's weird stuff.
Do
man.
you think these movies, obviously they sell? I mean, we were talking about the box office. Obviously they sell because they're family films and you could take your kid to it and parents can just like
I don't
kind of
know why-
turn off and let their kids watch it. Or they could, it's one of the movies you can just like,
You rented from Blockbuster back in the day, like, oh yeah.
Yeah, no, this
We
is
watched that, yeah.
absolutely a blockbuster movie.
I was definitely hit with Blockbuster if it was, yeah.
Do you think these movies would sell as well today?
No.
By no means.
Are you kidding?
What they
I don't
sell
mean
is what they
exactly
do.
how it is, but do you think this like
This type of movie?
yeah.
No. Every type of like because they've tried to make. There was one with like.
Aren't there still family films like this?
No, they make family films like this, but like I remember one recently. It was like the start at the early 2000s. It was like Billy Crystal, and he was playing this guy that like was like a sportscaster or something. He gets laid off because he's not hip with the times, and it's kind of like that same thing. He's like, oh no, I gotta watch my like crazy grandkids, and this is just fucking antics. Like,
well, they had other stuff like this, like
Kindergarten
Cop, Mr. Mom.
Yeah, well, Kindergarten Cop 2, if you want to be more specific, for in the 2000s or early 2010s. But
no, I'm just talking about this genre in general, because it's a genre. It's a genre that was in the.
It's a genre.
They had like 80s movies, 90s movies. This is an early 2000s things, and I feel like they're just. They don't have these anymore. You know?
Well, here's the thing.
That's not a bad thing. I mean, these movies are pretty bad.
I think it's
just bury it like as far deep as down as it goes.
With the
just forget about.
I think with the internet culture and the society we live in nowadays, it's just more so like, oh fuck, they still make those movies, guys. Let's like get absolutely plastered and see how shitty it is. That's the only reason they're fucking made.
What do you think a modern equivalent to this movie, like that came out recently, would be?
Jesus, well, ignoring the third one that came out in the early 2010s.
I mean, like in the last like 5 years.
Probably like the stuff with like, I don't know. I would say like the shit with like Megan McCarthy is like on that same, like level.
Yeah, I could see that.
And I'm not even just saying like
The Boss or Identity Thief.
Yeah, that one where she takes isn't Robert Downey Jr. in that movie?
No, I don't know. I didn't see it. I know Jason Bateman's in it.
No, that's who it is, Jason Bateman. You know why? Because then my head was somehow going to Zach Galifianakis, and he was in that movie with Zach Galifianakis, Robert Downey Jr.
Yeah.
Where like he's just like, I guess I got like a fat like funny partner the rest of the movie to get back to my wife who's having a kid.
Yeah.
They don't. If they do make movies like Big Mama's House nowadays, it's because they know. Once it hits any streaming service, like past the theaters, it'll have a life because somebody will either rip into it on whatever like fucking internet podcast or show. They'll just like rip into it just for like the views, and it'll just live on. Like, people will talk about it.
You're gonna like make a movie just so people can shit on it? Like I don't.
If it expands the life of it and people are talking about it, do you think they care? If it's shit,
they only made this
it
movie.
Costs money to make it.
I think they actually thought this movie was good. You can tell they actually thought this wasn't supposed to be a bad movie. They made this. They were like, "Oh, this is hysterical."
No. I'm saying
Big Mama's House. This is
oh no.
I'm not think it's gonna be bad.
No. I'm not saying that.
I'm not gonna say that.
I'm not saying that Big Mama's House is that. I'm saying the movies that are coming out today that are in the same vein as Big Mama's House, whatever these like air quotes family comedy, wholehearted whatever bullshit.
It's an action comedy. Stuber was a little bit like this. Stuber just came out with
who was it?
Kamal Nanjiani and the guy from Guardians of the Galaxy, the wrestler. Remember he's in the Uber and it's like that was kind of like this.
What's his name too? I'm forgetting the actor's name, but the same guy who's in Guardians of the Galaxy. That thing where he the girl finds out he's an FBI like undercover, and it's like, oh shit, crazy antics. Gotta make sure this little girl doesn't like blow my fucking cover. Yeah. But nobody's really watching it because it's like, I rented this movie for my kids, or like, oh fuck, we watched it on Netflix. They know people are just gonna rip into it. They don't care. Nobody cares with like the movies that are made like that. It's just like. Let's just shit something out that, like, if a mom sees it, she'll fucking put it on, and then everyone else can make fun of it. At least we made our money. Haha. Bye. We'll make another one. Like, we'll make 5 more next year.
Yeah, we'll make 5 more. You'll still watch them.
You some idiot's gonna fucking turn it on.
Back when movies cost a nickel to go to, you could go to the theater and see Big Mama's House.
Yeah, seriously.
A nickel well spent. Oh boy.
To hear. What do they cost? They're up to like $350 to go to the movies, right?
Yeah, that's what it feels like after
taxes.
After taxes, and not even buying popcorn with that shit.
Yeah.
Now we're gonna get into the politics of like movie, like buying like popcorn stuff. Like, why does it cost so much? Welcome to the podcast.
We're not. I was really gonna slap you if you kept going into that. Like, that's what we're gonna
No, we're
devolve
not changing
into.
topic just yet.
Fuck the movie. We're
must
just
have
gonna
been-
talk about
I
how
don't know, man.
stupid it is to go to the movies.
This
What?
is before internet culture got took hold in movies and
Yeah,
stuff. So
let
I
me-
feel like people didn't even go to this thing to make fun of it.
No,
I imagine the theater was literally packed with children and parents, and that was it.
Oh no, definitely, and especially like when it came out later through Blockbuster or whatever.
It was rented by children.
It was
and
rented.
Parents,
Yeah, but hey guys, let's have like a family night. We'll grab some pizza, and I used to do that with my family all the time. There was the Blockbuster right by us that we would get pizza and watch that movie that night.
Yeah, and then the parents pretend to like it or whatever, and
Yeah,
the
so have
kids
fucking-
like enjoy it because they don't know anything.
Yeah, and just something to shut them up for the night.
Yeah. And then, you didn't want to watch Cinderella or Beauty and the Beast for the 100th time.
Especially nowadays with the live action
No,
ones.
I'm talking about back in the
Oh,
day.
back then. Well,
Yeah.
now it's watch the new one.
You know how
It's
kids
shit.
get like obsessed with things? Like they'll get like obsessed with something and they'll just
Mm-hmm.
keep watching it over and over and over and over again. You
Literally-
better hope you don't show your kid Big Mama's House
and they
then
get obsessed with it over and over. If I
So
had
I
my
keep having to hear "ooh, child" as many times
If-
as like that over and over again. I would lose my mind.
I was just about to say, like, if I hear my kids saying that, like, they're absolutely getting belted across the face. Like, you will not speak of that movie in my house. It's so bad.
Right.
I
Anyway,
will kick you,
moving
like,
aside
out the
from kid
window,
abuse.
like Martin Lawrence did that like bad guy at the end. I don't know what his name is.
Shit,
should-
now you got me referencing
We
it.
should probably continue talking about likes and dislikes, right?
Oh yeah, we've just been like kind of just shitting on the movie, haven't we?
We-
we haven't really gone into any detail.
We shat on the movie industry, how much movies cost to go to nowadays.
Thanks for the recap, buddy.
Yeah, seriously.
So,
All right, asshole. Fuck
what
you.
else did you? What else? You've been kind of quiet. What else do you?
Oh, me? Okay.
hate or like?
well, likes. I told you I was all done with it. We tapped out of that.
Yeah, we're done with likes. That's it. We're
That's it.
restrained, bro.
There was no. It was a strain. It was like it's. We mentioned many parts before. There are a ton of parts of this movie that are just cringe, and I don't know why. It's just like the scenarios that he's being put into.
Guys, holy shit.
What?
The fucking flashlight scene where he's like asleep with her in bed. How did we not talk about this already?
Yeah, that was weird.
So-
well,
Yeah.
that's the thing. A lot of parts in this movie are weird, right?
Oh god, I
Yeah, a
have
lot
to.
of parts feel like
let
Yeah,
Long talk about.
you have to explain to you how you felt watching the fucking flashlight scene
explain to you.
as you're
Explain to
you're
you.
fingering your eyeball.
Explain to you.
I will explain to me. Well, it's it's uncomfortable to watch. Well, first off, like the whole thing just feels like very forced.
It's also really weird too. The whole thing was set up because like it was a thunderstorm.
No, dude, don't take over. Let him explain.
Oh, fucking excuse me.
Yeah, you can let him go. It's fine.
No.
It's
You're
okay.
the guy that's-
It's okay,
that's-
Dad. It's all right. You can let him. You can,
All right, go ahead.
Anyway,
Go
I
ahead.
was just gonna quickly explain it. That whole thing is set up because there's like a storm outside, and this grown woman who has had a child is scared, or she's like reminiscing about it or something. She's like, "Big Mama, do you remember when there was like storms outside, and I used to like, I used to be scared. I used to be asleep with you." And then you explain it because then it just gets fucking gross.
Well, yeah, like whew, thunder. I bet. Let me get in under the cover.
Nobody could see it, but Dylan just showed us a weird questioning face of
Well-
Martin Lawrence.
We'll put it in the video.
Oh, that could be like the thumbnail. Oh my god. Have that as the thumbnail, please.
But, yeah.
Explain how gross it got, Long.
Okay. Well, I mean, just oh, quick, let me get under the covers, so that the lightning and the thunder doesn't get me. And your arm went around me, and she drags the arm across her. Isn't this so nice? Big Mom, what is that? And it's supposed to be a boner joke, but I guess he just so happened to have a flashlight in the bed just in case for
How
the
lucky.
scenario. Yeah, how lucky for him to have this really big flashlight down in the bed just for the scenario to come up.
But then it gets worse, Long, right? Please tell us how it got worse.
Well, he takes the flashlight away, and he stuffs a pillow down there too, to make extra sure that that kind of
His fucking
scenario
dick
doesn't...
doesn't just poke her.
Yeah, no. Like, so just in case, like, if it, like, rips through his pants, like, at least you have, like, that kind of, like, protection in between.
Oh, shit.
But even after all that, like, like, they have some more, like, bullshit dialogue. Like, whatever. It's not really important. Like, bonding moment, I think. It happens again. Like, Big Mama, you wouldn't happen to have another flashlight down there, would you? He cuts to his face.
Yeah, he, like, they break the fourth wall. Like, he just, like, looks dead into the camera and so, like, and jarring.
It's so uncomfortable because the scene, she thinks that he is her grandmother, who she's known since she was a child, obviously. And he has, like, a crush on her or something. So she's like trying to look for comfort, during the thunderstorm because she's scared about her, about her, was it her ex-boyfriend who's like coming to like kill her.
Yeah.
And she's like
the forgetful villain.
She's looking for like comfort, so she cuddles in next to her grandmother, who's secretly like this stranger FBI agent who's like really, really, really wants to screw her, and is like,
yeah, he's like looking to screw her over too. Like,
there's just so many things that are so messed up in the context of that one scene. I think that scene really encapsulates how messed up the whole movie is. Because at the very end of the movie, she's like weirdly not upset when she finds out that he disguised himself as her grandmother this entire time. But I feel like she oddly doesn't understand, like the way, like nobody explains it to her, and she kind of like I don't think you need it explained, but she
was mildly upset. Like,
she was mildly upset that this guy broke into her grandmother's house, and then like disguised himself as her grandmother in all these like super intimate moments she had with her grandmother, like bonding. And they've all just been this random stranger in a fat suit.
Like, sent by the FBI to get information.
Skin crawling and weird.
Also, the just to also touch up on the end of the movie, like, he says this, like, bullshit fucking, like, I love you in the church that they go to.
Yeah, it comes out of
with
nowhere.
The actual Big Mama.
Nowhere.
Yeah, it's like the most like, I understand, like, she's the generic love interest, and at some point they have to get together.
They set it up with the boat scene because during the boat scene she's supposed to like be like kind of falling for him, and he's like being like a father figure for the kid.
That is the only scene we get though, so it feels
the only one
very like
comes out of nowhere.
Yeah, it's the only scene where he's not Big Mama having those intimate moments.
And considering what he did, I'm surprised she didn't just like
lose her mind,
kill him with a bat. I'm surprised the grandmother didn't kill him with a bat.
Why is the next
the FBI is even letting him talk to them?
They broke into her house.
You know what'd be really funny is if
she's still a suspect in the crime.
Wait, no. You know what's funny? No, because obviously at that point when they fast forwarded, she's clear of everything.
So messed up.
No. I'm saying like, well, because he was probably like have the audio recording in somewhere in the fat suit. But I'm saying like, how much funnier would it have been? Like, yeah, like he should have got the shit beat out of him by like either the actual Big Mama or the girl herself. How much funnier would it have been? Like he was saying I love you and he has like a black eye and a fucking, a cast or something like that. That would have made it, I think that would have made it a little bit funnier. Like, yeah, still give your like bullshit happy ending, but just at least have it with that extra layer of somewhat comedy that like, it happened off screen that Big Mama just actually beat the shit out of him. She has a bat. We saw it earlier too.
Never got a chance to use it though, really.
Yeah. She almost used it because that guy that was hitting on her fucked the neighbor. And she's like, you're gonna get the fucking thick end of my bat or something like that. Which
the fat end.
Oh, the fat end. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Anyway, it's a sexual innuendo in either case. It doesn't matter.
I don't know, man. This movie just freaks me out. I don't like it.
It's very skeevy watching it. It was
so popular. Do you remember how popular this movie was? Do either of you recall how popular this movie was?
No, I do not remember.
I remember the sequel being popular more so. I feel like it had a lot more. I'm not saying that.
I don't even see like
the
how
sequel's got that scene on the beach. Do you remember the scene on the beach?
It also has the scene where as Big Mama, he infiltrates a girl's slumber party. It feels like something out of like
was that in the second one?
Yeah, no, that was in the second one. Right? No. The third one is where he brings his son into it, which is in the storyline of Big Mama, the cinematic universe. Is the little kid? Yeah,
universe.
You find out that it's the kid in this movie, Trent. His character is an adult, which clearly means he like married the mom and stuff like that. And he brings his new son into this. I guess at that point they probably called it like the family business or something, to dress up as like a fat woman in drag or whatever the case is.
Yeah, and his son in the third one is played by
Please tell me it's like Michael B. Jordan or something, because that'd be really funny.
The satyr from Percy Jackson.
Oh my god.
The goat leg guy from Percy Jackson.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
You gotta be kidding me.
No, I'm not messing.
Oh yeah, they also have that really funny, just to, I guess, finish up on the third one, they have that really funny line in the trailer that you showed us earlier, Dillon, where he's like, you guys sound more like a girl. The son teases him by like going into a really deep voice.
Teases him? Is it like a sexual thing?
No. Like I'm saying,
a lot of sexual innuendos in this whole movie. So
I
don't blame you.
I mean, yeah. No, but I like tease, like makes fun of him for like,
Yeah,
oh, you gotta like act, you gotta sound more like a girl. Because we're okay with this.
He really teases the hell out of him, dude.
No, yeah, because then in the trailer he gets like his dad, Martin Lawrence, hits him in the balls, and he does that like fucking thing.
Yeah, Long was just getting teased right now.
What the fuck?
I kept it like
intentionally
silent for like attention.
Way to grind everything to a halt with that fucking comment.
Yeah, I know that was your fault though.
How is it my fault? I'm talking about a weird trailer scene.
I'm surprised we're talking about the sequels here. I know, like on Saw,
There's
we
nothing
couldn't
really.
we couldn't stop talking about.
We're
the
gonna
sequels.
get more. We're probably gonna look at Big Mama's House 2 at some point.
Yeah,
when I'm recovered.
Here's the thing. That'll
but
be.
We can't look at the third one.
That has to be. I mean, the sequel. I'm not. I don't want to look at anything about Big Mama's House related, like unless it's like a couple months from now. We all need time off from Martin Lawrence in a fat woman's suit.
Yeah.
Oh
He's
shit!
Back, man. He made like 2 movies in the last.
Oh yeah, because everyone wanted a third Bad Boys.
Popular movies in the last 2 years.
I mean, it's popular because they made another fucking Bad Boys and they're making their money on the title.
It's good because I don't hate him.
I'm not saying he's a bad actor. It's just
I don't hate any of the actors in this movie.
No, they're all like. If there's one thing,
I don't even really hate this movie. This movie seems, it seems like it'd be something I'd hate, but it really just encapsulates the era too much for me to hate it.
Nostalgic in a way.
Yeah,
like even if you haven't seen it before, it's kind of like nostalgic
because you know what's gonna happen.
Yeah, I
even if it is just rushed, like the whole movie is just so rushed and weird and unfortunate.
Yeah.
I can't hate it. I just don't like it.
I guess I agree with you. It's not like I don't have like a vitriol towards the movie. It's just I felt uncomfortable the whole time. Is all I can really say is just. Yeah, I think even like back then, if you like just had like if you're watching this like alone, I don't know why you would. You just feel uncomfortable the whole time.
Yeah, this isn't a movie you watch alone.
Yeah, it was the 3 of us watching it together, and
if you're sitting there watching Big Mama's House alone, you've like messed up in life somewhere.
You made
somehow you've made some.
You made too many poor life choices to be sitting there alone watching Big Mama's House. Either you. For some reason, are streaming it or you're watching it.
And
yeah,
you have to watch movies by yourself. Just avoid Big Mama's.
it'll depress you even more than what you already are.
So I guess that brings us to our closing remarks, guys. What would you give Big Mama's House?
Are we still doing like this thing where it's out of 4?
Yeah. That's our rating system. Just fucking go with it.
All right, I guess 1 out of 4 is a pretty sufficient.
That's pretty low, man.
I was thinking that's pretty generous.
Yeah, I'd give it a fucking 0. I don't know if we established or not. We can give it a 0.
Yeah, it's 0 to 4. I mean,
1 would be like it's bad, but still worth your time. This movie isn't worth your time.
No, it's really fucking not. It's
I know what? Hate it.
Wait, here's the thing. It's worth your time if you want to see. If you really like have no knowledge of what the era was capable of producing, and you want to see something that
gonna,
the era did produce at the beginning of the fucking 21st century.
It'll give you the right amount of disappointment for
you
to understand
to sink in
the next 9 years.
Yeah, to sink in what we all grew up with.
Yeah, for those of you born, like within the last 10 years,
yeah,
are only really allowed to watch this movie.
Yeah,
it's just don't bother. don't even bother.
I mean, if you grew up with this movie, I'm sorry. You call us or something if you need somebody to talk to. I mean, shit. I feel like this would have damaged somebody if they were little and they saw it if they were 4 years old.
Would it damage them?
Mentally.
Yeah, well, I don't think
anyone recovers from seeing Martin Lawrence in a fat suit.
The subtext, I don't even care about that imagery. The subtext of him pretending to be someone's grandmother, it's a horror movie. It's scary.
Yeah, it's got a lot of dark imagery in
there.
Yeah,
you take out the
dark subtext.
Yeah, it makes it so it's not even that much of a family film, but it is. So.
Yeah,
it weirdly is with 2 sequels. I still can't get over that there was more sequels.
They really don't make things like this anymore, though. If we're being honest.
No, that's true, but yeah, I really don't want them to keep making stuff like this if it's gonna get fucking weird and
you know what, I really do want to give it a 1. I'm gonna give it a
You're gonna give it
4 out of 4.
I'm struggling, guys.
I really want to give it a 1, but instead I'm gonna give it a perfect score.
Yeah,
it's a perfect movie.
The best movie. You know what? Real bang up way to start off the 2000s with this fucking movie.
I'm gonna give it a 2.
You're gonna give it a fucking 2?
I'm gonna give
That's
it a 2.
Dude,
okay,
movie.
Listen, it made me laugh.
It's an average movie.
No. It made me laugh at some parts, but not that much for me to give it a fucking 2. It's a 1.
I gotta give it a 2, man.
You are a shit. It is a 1 for me.
All right. Well, I mean, you can watch this movie again
alone.
Yeah,
you could watch it alone. You could be the depressed guy alone in this room watching the movie.
Oh man!
And every time you laugh, you cry a little bit too. To really think about
crying
your
a little
decisions.
bit right now, man.
He's getting really emotional over the fact that he had to force out a fucking 2. You don't have to give it a 2.
It's alright, man. This movie didn't damage you that much.
Seriously, holy shit!
I feel like it deserves a 2.
It's not holding a gun up to your head give it a 2. You better give it a 2.
I feel
Martin Lawrence is going to disguise himself as your mom and busting through this door any minute now.
I feel sick.
You feel sick? We all do after watching this fucking movie.
I feel really sick. This is such a disturbing nightmare.
I just want it to end.
The movie or your life? We need to clarify here.
Oh my gosh, I don't even know.
I think the consensus is a 1. I wouldn't even I'm not even gonna throw your fucking 2 in there. I think it's a 1 out of 4.
Yeah, I think Dillon. I think you're just too damaged.
I think
after
you were
watching
hurt
this movie
from
to
the
really
movie.
even give it an accurate rating.
You were hurt. You clearly hurt too much. You're I want to give it a 2, and this clearly just it's not deserving of that.
And then he's in the kitchen, and he's burning pork chops because he makes lard soup. And then he throws the pork chops in there, and then. And then the kid,
he's losing it.
The kid is there, and he's he's threatening the kid for some reason, and he's burning the pork chop, and then they make the fat legs and the arms, and then he goes in and Paul Giamatti's wearing the fat legs and the arms, and he's talking while doing karate.
Yeah,
and then Anthony Anderson comes in later, and he thinks they cut Big Mama up because he sees the skin suit, and then Martin Lawrence is trying to tell him what to do, and he's wearing half the fat suit.
Oh my god, this movie broke you.
And
you want to give it a fucking 2 out of 4?
Yeah.
And it fucking broke.
He's gonna rate it a 2 out of 4, and we're gonna check him into a mental institution.
They're doing karate for some reason.
Oh my god.
They're doing karate, and then Anthony Anderson rips Big Mama's wig off because he's trying to do one of these over shoulder tosses with an 800-pound woman. And then they see the wig come off, and he thinks he's been discovered, and they all take off their wigs
because they're old ladies, which is what
you
said.
Oh my gosh!
And then he thinks someone's in the house, and he comes in with a gun when
And then
it's a surprise party.
And then the old man comes to the door. The old man comes to the door.
Oh yeah, the shaboink line. Yeah,
and he comes to the door, and he's got like he's like trying to make out with her, and he's like, "Get your nasty ass tongue back in that mouth there," and it's just, oh my gosh.
The shaboink line, I think, is what really made that scene. Because it's not even just the one time. There's several times where they're talking about in regards to the old man, where it's like clearly he's like the old guy's like sexually turned on by Big Mama, and he keeps saying shaboink. Like, were they trying to make do you think that was like the tagline they put on the DVD box or like the poster?
No, I don't think that.
I think
the tagline was "Mama's in the house." I think that was the tagline.
Oh, so she is most certainly in the house. So.
So it was something even stupider than what I just said. It's something.
I like what I said better.
It's just shaboink.
I think.
Martin Lawrence gives Big Mama's House 4 shaboinks out of 5. I think that.
You think he likes this movie?
I don't think so. I think it was like a
or
thing
does it
to
haunt his nightmares?
Do you think
like
he shows
mine?
his kids this movie?
His kids must have seen this movie at some point.
Do you think he has kids?
No, he definitely don't. You're getting really existential. Like, shit, how bad did the movie touch you inappropriately?
Yes,
Yeah,
that scene in the bed. Yes.
Holy shit.
Oh, man.
Losing our fucking minds.
Dude.
I mean, Dillon lost his mind.
What
oh my god.
Nightmare.
Well, good night, everyone.
Yeah,
and don't let Martin Lawrence in like a fat suit bite or something like that.
If you were a loved
disguise himself as your close relatives for a week.
If you or a loved one has been affected by Big Mama's House, call 1-800 Martin Lawrence to get a free consultation.
You may be entitled to.
You may be entitled to a cash settlement. All right. Good night, everyone.
Good night.